Good evening, my friends, and welcome to the next episode of Syberia. Last time out, we finally left the University of Barrackstad and made our way to what I can only really describe as a mine. A mine, and they call it a mine. We've not met anyone here yet. We've literally only just arrived. We've been down one tunnel and found, well, not very much there. No need to talk to Oscar just yet. First things first, I want to see what's on the other side of this platform first, because it looks like just a whole bunch of rock, and if there's nothing there, I want to eliminate that early. And in fact, we can't alight from that side, so wow, that is less than nothing available on that side then. Okay. Let's make our way in this direction. Oh, just move that slightly out of the way so that I can see the whole screen. Yeah, Syberia is a little bit of a weird one because I can't find any way to run the game except at full screen. Now, for you, the aspect ratio kind of looks sensible, right? Because it's square. For me, it's all stretched, and it's stretched over a 1440p monitor. So, like, I'm always kind of feeling like I have to be, like, sat quite far back to really see it all. Most of these games I play in windowed mode. Excellent. And an X marks the spot on a foot. Cool. This kind of reminds me a lot of that. Well, it's kind of the opposite of the giant automaton at the end of Fallout 3, right? This is much more like Lenin rising from his grave in The Simpsons being like, must crush capitalism, you know? Oh, wow, what is this?
If that's going to work, it looks like something's missing.
Well, I have a something. Now we're going to need to wind it up. Need a key first. Oh, it's going to be a bridge. It's going to be a bridge that extends across. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's take this audio cylinder and go and have a listen. Nothing over this way. Now, yes, there's a door over here. Oh, no. Don't go that way, Kate. There's a door over here. We tried this door last episode. Pretty sure it's locked.
That door is locked.
That door is
locked. I've got to find another way around.
Yeah, let's listen to the voice cylinder first. There's no one here, which is weird. Why has Hans sent us to a mine, anyway? But yeah, we can certainly discuss this turn of events with Oscar, if he's the only person here that we can make conversation with. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say this mine looks abandoned, but it does look a bit deserted, let's call it.
And if I were to watch one of those cylinders again?
Yes.
My dear brother, what joy to have news of you after your long silence during the war years. So you're working for the Russians now. I tell you, we've been hearing some worrying stories about them here. Just your description of that dingy factory makes me cough. But it's so good to hear that your talent is being recognized for its true value. and that your automaton creations are taking the place of workers for all those menial jobs.
Oh.
I'm so proud that Vorarlberg automatons are making such a contribution, even if it is small, to the improvement of people's lives.
Meanwhile, back in Valladolid, we've been licking our wounds after the war years. Some people have returned, others not. Life is slowly coming back, but it's taking time. All my love, Anna.
Huh. And there was nothing of particular interest here. So it's a... Okay, so initially I thought the giant automaton was going to be mining. Just like absolutely smashing the rocks with a giant hammer. But no, we've got little automatons that actually go into the mines. Okay, Oscar. Let's have a discussion.
Oscar, what's going on? Why has the train stopped? Where are we?
The springs of the train are unwound again, Kate Walker. As for the question pertaining to our geographical location, I really haven't the slightest idea.
Well, we'd better get looking for a winding machine, my dear Oscar. I hope that this place actually has one.
The air here is so polluted that I could not possibly risk leaving the locomotive. My joints might corrode irreparably.
Right. Let's see.
Oscar's a very precious automaton, isn't he? Because if you've literally got Hans Vorarlberg automata just working the mines, they're clearly not that concerned.
Gosh, it's really gloomy here. I wonder where on earth I'm going to find a winding machine.
I have total confidence in you, Kate Walker. You are, after all, a brave and resourceful woman.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
That is some gassing.
Oscar, you couldn't make a little effort for just this once. If we both went looking for the winding machine, the two of us together might find it quicker.
You are in all probability correct, Kate Walker. But the high level of heavy metal miasma that pollutes the atmosphere could cause havoc to my wheelwork.
Oof, if it's heavy metal miasma, I don't think Kate should
Let's
be
hope
breathing
Hans
it
Vorarlberg once
either.
lived here as well. Maybe he planned for his locomotive's unplanned stop and installed a winding machine as well. Otherwise, it's not looking great for the rest of the journey.
Do not forget that Hans Vorarlberg is a genius in the true sense of the word.
But is he a genius with a sense of forward planning?
We will find that out when we find the winding machine.
My God, Oscar, what would I do without you? We just keep stopping. When will we ever get to the end of this journey?
Simply wind up the spring and we can set off immediately.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Oh, you mean we don't need a ticket or a visa
See you soon,
this
Oscar.
time?
I shall stay right here, Kate Walker.
Right. Well, I tell you what, my friends, there is not a huge amount of stuff in this station, right? So we went down here last episode, and it gets too dark too quickly down here. We can fiddle with this generator, perhaps, but
This thing's jammed.
it's jammed.
If that's going to work, it looks like
And we're
something's
missing a piece. So something needs to like plug into the top of it, and then the handle will unjam, and that will give us light. Whatever it is, we do not have it. Right. No, that's going back into the elevator. Got to give this game a lot of credit for the fact that, unlike Myst 4, there is no lag on the animation for the little ring. We're not trying to like find a hand slowly going, Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, there's definitely nothing on the other side of this train. Yeah, there's just nothing there. Okay. Okay. It must be a path that we've missed. Must be. Like, there's something here for a start, which we can see from that point of view, but can't see from any other angle. But, yeah, no, we need another way in. And I'm assuming this isn't going to pan as we get here. No. Now this animation's on rails. We can't stop her before she gets into here. Oh. Ah, up is an option. Well, okay then. Great. Well, that brings us in line with this ladder then, doesn't it? Presumably we can go up again if we wanted to, but I think that should be sufficient for now. There we go. Can we just hop over? Yeah, hop over to here. Interesting. So whatever we need to get through there, we don't have it. That's weird, isn't it? Alright, let's try moving forward again.
Can't go that way.
What? Why can't you go that way? No, can't go forward. Oh, how weird. Oh! We can wind the train up. Well, that's great. Let's get out of here then. We have got what we came here to do. So unnecessarily complicated. Like, why a giant statue? But then again, I mean, Hans Vorarlberg, he's an artiste, right? Oh, who dat?
Hey, you there!
Oscar, what were you doing? You should be defending the train. It's okay. He probably didn't take anything important.
Yes?
Kate, can you hear me this time?
Yes, I can hear you just perfectly, Dan, but I can't talk to you now. I'm in a real hurry.
I wanted to say sorry. I know I wasn't very understanding last time. I've been feeling a bit bad about it.
Good.
Okay, you're a real sweetheart, but I've got to leave you now. I'm not angry with you, so don't worry. I've just got to catch up to someone, and quick.
But Kate, this is really important.
I'll call you back, Dan. I'm sorry.
Wow, these two need to start scheduling in their calls. Like... Okay. But anyway, do we need to catch up with someone? I mean, we saw him wandering off the train, but how much do we care? We can just go, right? Because we've got our thing wound. Where's Oscar? We've got our mammoth. That's the important thing.
My God, Oscar!
Oh no!
Oscar, talk to me. Are you okay?
Why, it is absolutely inadmissible, intolerable, and
He's taken his hands.
I have been attacked.
What do you mean you've been attacked?
My hands! I no longer have them! They have been stolen!
Oh, that's
God,
real
you haven't got
low.
your
You
hands. But who did this?
can't
What's
steal a
going on
robot's
here?
hands.
We can be sure of one thing, Kate Walker. That this heinous crime was committed by a barbarian. A dysfunctional individual whose behavior lacks all finesse.
Did you get a look at your attacker? Tell me exactly how it happened.
I was standing here polishing up my metalwork. I was just thinking that with all the dust in the air, it would be a good idea to...
Oscar.
I was very busy, and I suddenly felt two powerful arms grab me from behind and tie me up before I had the chance to defend myself. I wanted to call out, but my attacker gagged me before I could emit the slightest sound. Then he dismantled my hands with a terrifying pair of pliers.
Aww.
It was horrible.
I can believe it, my poor Oscar, but did you see him?
He was a real barbarian, I tell you. He had bloodshot eyes, steel teeth, and brown scaly skin, and he emitted foul odors.
Sounds
He
like
was
a weird
monster,
automaton.
Kate Walker, a real monster, and he had a weapon.
Oscar, please calm down. Everything's going to be all right. Right, I'm done. Take care of yourself, Oscar.
I'm
Good
done.
luck, Kate Walker, and don't forget me.
No, certainly not. Right. Let's grab the pliers. Because this we might be able to use to make that hole larger in the ceiling there. You know, in the upper entrance. Let's go. We got some skulls to crack. All right. Come on, Kate. We're going full Mist 3 exile here. We got someone we've got to go teach a lesson to. Tell you what, Kate's cardio is just, it's inspiring. It's inspiring. You just keep jogging, Kate. Keep jogging. Okay. Forward one. Bonk. Tell you what, you're becoming a real Lara Croft, aren't you? You know, with all of the acrobatics you're being asked to do. This is definitely above and beyond the usual requirements of a mergers and acquisitions lawyer. Here we go. Don't cut yourself climbing in. Not much in this initial room. We've got handprints on the glass. Not sure what, if anything, that's supposed to be telling me. Use metal pliers with... yeah. Use the metal wrench on window.
I can't go that way.
Oh, well that's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
I can't go that way.
Ah, a spark plug may well be the component that we are missing from the generator. Okay, so climb down, run along the platform again, back into the mine. Tell you what, this is a long platform as well. This is like, you know, at least an 8-carriage platform, maybe a 12. I mean, this would take most modern day trains. Okay. Do you know what I was? Now this is very much a kind of a millennial type problem, right? But I was I got the urge to rewatch Death Note the other day, which if you've not seen it, don't spoil yourself on it, but you should definitely check that out.
I've got to find another way around.
Probably one of the best animes that's ever been made, right? Like Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, you know. Some people like Attack on Titan, wasn't for me, tried it, definitely not cozy vibes, it's just people being really sad, like, all the time. But Full Metal Alchemist, Death Note, I would probably rate those two as being the best. And I was thinking to myself, I've not watched Death Note in ages, I should rewatch that. It is literally gone from every streaming service except Crunchyroll, and I'm like, no shade to Crunchyroll. I mean, obviously, you know, it's their USP, right? They are an anime streaming service, but I don't like anime that much that I would ever buy a streaming service dedicated to anime. all I wanted to watch was Death Note. Now here's the thing, I already own Death Note. I own it on DVD, but do you know what? It is definitely one of those. But then I've got to get up and change the disc in the player like every 2 episodes, and like because despite the fact the whole thing's only like what 18 episodes long, and every episode's like 25 minutes, the thing comes on like 9 DVDs or something, and I'm just like and that makes me sound so lazy, the fact that like it's literally a bit of a barrier to me to be like,
I don't need to do that.
Oh, okay, the thing is here. It's literally a bit of a barrier to be like, oh, can I really be bothered changing discs every couple of episodes? It makes me sound so lazy, but like genuinely, it's factoring into my decision making as to whether I really want to watch it right now. I'd much rather just see it online somewhere, like. Oh. Do you guys ever have this? Do you guys ever have this vibe where you're just like, oh yeah, I kind of want to watch it, but like, just not that much. So we've got another lift there, but I think we should check out this room a little bit more first. We need a screwdriver. Okay, cool. Yep. Nope, nothing over there. Anything over here? Oh, there's someone up there. Look, right there. Wait, where's he gone? There was definitely someone here, right? Oh, wait. I think I see him over by the organ. There's like a proper Phantom of the Opera kind of situation here. Looks like an automaton. Well, we'll take the screwdriver. Thank you very much. Kind of interesting actually, because your hands look like they've been bolted together, which is weird. I wouldn't have thought that would be expected, but it doesn't look like we're expecting to use the screwdriver here straight away. Tell you what, it looks like a nice organ, doesn't it? One of the guys I lived with, right, side hustle time. People always talk about side hustle ideas and whatever, but often they miss the really obvious ones. If you're someone with musical talent, right, like I lived with a guy at university who had an amazing side hustle of just being the local church organist every Sunday. And he wasn't particularly religious or anything. He just played the piano. So he auditioned, and then they said, yeah, play the organ for it. Because basically, if you can play the piano, you can play the organ, like, well enough. Like, yeah, you've got to use your feet as well. But, like, if it's a choice between,
Seems this monorail is controlled from somewhere else.
If it's a choice between, like, someone who can't, like, properly play the organ, like someone who's good enough at the piano to be able to sort of muddle through an organ, that's him. Or not having an organ player at all.
Hey, you.
Yeah,
Who are
you.
Careful, I'm warning you. I'm not afraid of you, okay? What do you want? Why did you do that?
There must be some misunderstanding.
Because you reckon theft is all about misunderstanding, do you? Give me my hands back. Now!
Your hands? And what are those on the ends of your arms? I can explain everything to you. You see, I'm no thief.
You broke into my train, assaulted my driver, mutilated him, and stole his hands. Apart from that, you are not a thief.
I have not stolen them, miss. Only borrowed them for a while.
You've
The
got to be
judge is
joking.
not going to agree
I'm
with
not
that.
joking with you, miss. I would never take such liberties.
They belong to Oscar, my automaton engineer. Why did you steal them?
They are extraordinary. Real mechanical wonders. I would never have been capable of designing such hands myself. Never. Such workmanship. Such precision crafting. It is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And just because you like them, you decided to steal them?
I have only borrowed them, little missy.
Ugh.
Temporarily, you understand? Of course, I shall return them to you when I don't need them anymore. You can
Excuse me?
This guy
see.
has a
These hands
strong
are all
liberty
I
with the
need to
definition of
complete
borrow.
my plan. At last, I can finish off my automaton pianist and fulfill my dreams. Everything is now in place. You see, I have converted this old, useless, stupid factory into a magical theater. As you can see, the furnaces, piping, chimney stacks, they've all been converted into one gigantic organ. I will be able to accompany the world's greatest.
This has
living
like
singer.
really strong
Now
vibes
all I
of
need is
like
her.
the 5th level of Bioshock. I don't remember his name. The artist in Bioshock.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Sergei Borodin, the director of the industrial city of Komkolzgrad, or what is left of it at least. But who are you, for that matter, and why have you stopped in my station without authorization?
I didn't choose to stop in your station, but my train has a technical problem. My name is Kate Walker, and I'm an American lawyer.
It is very kind of you to come so far just to visit this place.
I repeat again, I never intended to stop here. I'm on a business trip. I'm a lawyer, goddammit.
Right.
Language, Kate.
What
Language.
brings you here?
Like I said, a stupid mechanical hitch. I'm sorry, I can't make heads or tails out of your story at all. Without my engineer's hands, I'm stuck here, you see?
Everything I have designed, all that I have invented, everything is for her.
Okay.
Do you realize?
But who?
Her. Oh, to hear her sing one more time here in my factory.
But who is she? Who are you talking about?
Helena. The one and only Helena Romansky. Her
Huh.
voice is so pure, like an angel. One day she came here to Komkolzgrad. She sang here, you know, when our industrial city was in its heyday. Oh, so long ago now. It was almost unreal. It was magical. I remember it like it was yesterday. Then, later, a long time later, she saved my soul. She saved my life and gave it meaning. When I was told that the mining program was to be abandoned, that this industrial city was consigned to oblivion, that I, its director, would from then on be nothing but a guardian of these rusting remains of a bygone age, that is when I first formed my plan. To bring Helena Romansky back to this factory. But this time, she would sing for me, and me alone.
And is she okay about this?
Sure. Once she finds out that I have done all this for her, when she realizes how I converted this vast network of pipes and tubes to create one of the most impressive organs ever made, then, you know, this was no small achievement, miss. Once molten iron flowed through here. Now there wafts only beautiful melodies. But then I realized I had to make an automaton pianist. I began to despair that I would never create hands that were intricate enough. But then you arrived. So lucky, don't you think?
Yeah, that must have been a happy
I
coincidence.
mean, why not just
for
have one of
someone
those
around here.
pianos with the piece of paper
So,
that rolls
when will this
through?
Madame Romansky come back? When do I get my hands back?
I don't know. Maybe someone should look for her. Tell her. Hey, why don't you go?
Well, we can't
The
drive the
quicker you
train
bring her
without
back,
hands.
The sooner you can carry on your business trip. Now, isn't that a good idea?
And you promise that once Helena has sung, you will give me back my automaton's hands?
I promise, my dear. You have my solemn word.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to believe you. Where should I go hunting for this singer then?
I have no idea. But for a woman of the world like yourself, finding her should pose no obstacle. Helena Romansky was a world celebrity, you know. I have collected many objects, souvenirs of her that I keep in a room. A shrine to her glory. It's like her own personal museum in a way. You should take a look.
Oh, he's opened something up for me, has he? Ah, okay.
This whole story is completely nuts.
Do you know what this gives me strong vibes of? Now we've only been in 3 locations so far, and so it's very much too early to deign a pattern from it. But like, it reminds me a little bit of Heart of Darkness, which of course has been remade into several things, Apocalypse Now, and also Spec Ops: The Line, which if you've not played Spec Ops: The Line, one of the best games of the PlayStation 3 era, genuinely is. And the theme in all of those stories is a protagonist who lives a relatively normal life, going on a journey where every stop in that journey is a darker and more twisted point in reality than the one beforehand, right? That you're tracking a descent into madness. And I don't know, like, this scene has suddenly given me that sort of vibe, right? That we start in Valladolid, which is a fairly normal town with normalish people in it, but it's got these fantastical elements like these automata and so on. So things are a little bit weird, but it's not like totally unhinged. Then we go to a university which is populated by about 6 people. Doesn't appear to have hardly any students in it. No young people, it seems. And the university is like, it's basically all but abandoned, except for a few people who have like this particular obsession. And I commented a few episodes ago that it reminded me a lot of the university in Gulliver's Travels, which is like this really old, dusty building where these men of science are just kind of working on their things, but not really having impact on the wider world. They're just doing their own academic things. And now we've come to a mine, and we've kind of taken another step down again, and met a guy who's clearly a little bit strange. And I don't know, it kind of makes me wonder sort of where we're going to go next, and whether that pattern's going to continue, or whether it's or whether I'm reading way too much into that, you know. Okay. Did we already ask for
I
help?
helped you to make some other hands just for your automaton.
Why should life be complicated when I already have what I need? And I very much doubt you are in any position to create such a perfect pair of hands.
I think this gentleman is probably correct.
You mentioned an automaton pianist, didn't you? Where did you find it?
I pieced it together myself, my dear. Except for the hands, that is. I admit that I underestimated the intricacy of this part of the design. A pianist's hands are very
Nah, this isn't going to be
important after all.
Hans.
But enough. Now he has a perfect set of hands.
Your passion amazes me.
That's interesting because the
Have you
automaton
designed any other automatons here?
looked like a female automaton. but-
Clockwork mechanisms do not interest me as such. I simply needed a robot capable of accompanying Helena Romansky on my huge organ. I adapted an existing model, a reject automaton secretary. I reconstructed it and adapted it to this new function.
An existing model, you say? Did you ever know Hans Vorarlberg? He was a kind of mechanical genius, like yourself.
Hans Vorarlberg? Yes. Or maybe... I don't know.
Yes, yes. No.
Sure,
Never met
I
him.
understand.
Never heard of him.
The number of automatons still functioning in this abandoned complex is amazing, though.
My dear, one thing is for sure. For many years, I have been totally alone here. If that man ever came to this city, he left long, long ago.
When you
Okay,
stepped
and then
on the
train is the
you
last
were
thing to talk to him
trespassing
about.
on private property.
Everything in this city, sweet lady, belongs to the state. And to all intents and purposes, the state in this city is me.
Yep.
My train is not a part of this factory. And besides, we never would have stopped here in the first place if its engine hadn't needed winding.
Well, as long as your train is at this station, it may be requisitioned and used for industrial purposes.
Out of the question. And I forbid you to do so.
Maybe I won't have to. Perhaps we can maybe come to some kind of agreement, my sweet lady.
I hope so. And fast.
See, now that's kind of interesting. That's
Please,
maybe a
excuse me.
bit of an
I
example
have to
of
go.
Americocentrism there. Because, and Kate, being a lawyer, should probably know this, but in most places in the world, trespass, not a criminal offence. Like, certainly in the UK, as far as I'm aware, trespass is a civil matter. So, yes, you can obviously call the police if you believe that there's, like, you know, a threat or whatever, or an assault is being carried out, or so on. But it's not a criminal offence to just be in someone else's property. Like, how would you be able to enforce that? Like, it's you know, because the counterparty would just be able to say, well, I was invited to come here, right? What are we looking for? We've got a book. We've got a book. How many pages we got? Okay, a few pages. Let's read. Young Helena Romansky's crystal clear voice moves amateurs and professionals alike, gathered for the 9th Vox d'Or Festival in Brussels. The young Russian soprano was the revelation of the event. She is an exceptionally talented singer, and at the tender age of 20, Helena looks to have a very promising career ahead of her. Helena Romansky's finest numbers are collected here on this golden disc, millions of copies of which are being sold around the world. It would be handy to just be able to take that disc and just use it, right? Comrade Helena Romansky sings for the people. Her series of recitals with piano performed in the factories of our great republic. After Kiev, Our diva arrives at Komkolsgrad, ravishing Helena is seen here with the factory director, Comrade Borodin, and several admirers. At least 2. Helena Romansky's success in Europe is assured. The great Helena Romansky, our nation's glory, appears and triumphs every night on Europe's most famous stages. Following from Milan, Paris and Vienna, Helena Romansky gave an exceptional recital in which her voice was even more powerful and moving than ever. Helena Romansky at this point is at the peak of her artistic career, and her recitals that year are exceptional. The high point and testimony to this greatness is her unforgettable interpretation of Rigoletto, sung with her great friend the Russian tenor Frank Malkovich. Let us not forget that the latter has recently decided to pursue his career in the United States. Yesterday evening, adoring crowds filled out the Bolshoi to say their fond farewells to Helena Romansky, their diva, making her last ever public appearance. Romansky revolutionized lyrical artistry, and her name has already passed into posterity. Through the well of emotion, her fatigue and illness, she merely managed to utter a tearful thank you. Oh dear. So it kind of looks like she might have passed away. Not known at this address, return to sender. Dear Helena, this is Komskolgrad, June 15th, 1997, so already a few years ago. Pray forgive me such familiarity of tone. I have written to you so often and for so long now that I feel I have come to know you intimately through my correspondence. I hope if my previous letters have reached you that you share this feeling. I am writing to you at this address for the 112th time. I hope that one day you will return there and you will find one of my letters. This one maybe, I can only hope. It's just that I have so much to say to you, so much to share. My work progresses well. As I wrote before, the hardest part was to put theory into practice, but I am gradually finding solutions to the problems and have managed to add a whole host of fine adjustments. The grand organ is now nearly complete. I can't wait for you to see it. Madam, I have transformed my factory into a crown, and I hope that you will be its jewel. It is a magnificent stage, one worthy of your talent and beauty. Helena, I feel so close to you. You and you alone are all I think about. The more time that goes by, the more certain I become that one day you will visit me in this factory that is dedicated entirely to you. I have immense hope in my heart, and am waiting your acceptance of my invitation. Yours in faith and devotion, Sergei Borodin. Well, yes. What a concerning individual. I mean, look, she was clearly quite old, even back in the day. No, that's just that area there. Okay, well this chap is almost certainly not going to be able to be reasoned with. We have another path or two to go and explore, but my friends, that is going to wrap us up for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed our foray into the dark undercroft of the mining town of Komskolsgrad. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great week. Bye for now.